welcome to Spain. Well, actually, not welcome, because no one is welcome in Spain anymore, not for a very long time. Yes, we are officially in lockdown, and if you can see the back, I'm sure you can see there's barely a car on the road. So there are a couple of cars, there are some cars around, but normally, I mean, this is Sunday the 15th of March, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there's barely a car on the road. And yes, I've been speeding a little bit, because it's so quiet. There is literally hardly anybody out. So what's happening with this lockdown? Now, this is a very different type of video on my channel, although I do like to do quite personal videos sometimes. Most of mine obviously car related. But I had planned to do a car video on Friday, and it all went pear-shaped. I had it all planned out. It was going to be quite a nice video, I hoped, but it was going to take me like 2 or 3 hours to film. But this week hasn't got to plan at all, because let me just wind it back. I was supposed to be in the UK this week, and so I was supposed to fly out on Monday morning, because if you don't know, my business, although I live in Spain, my business is in the UK, and I go over like once a month. And so I was flying out Monday morning, and on Sunday night my business partner Mike rings me and he goes, "Justin, I don't think you should come out to the UK. I don't think you should fly over, because you might get stuck in a hotel, you might not be able to get back to Spain, you know, you've got 2 kids." And he's like, "Look, it's getting quite bad, maybe don't come over." I'm like, really? In Spain at that point it was a bit like, well, there's been a few cases and stuff, but we're okay. How quickly did that turn around? So very quickly everything changed here. So I suppose it was that Sunday night, last Sunday, a week ago today, that I sort of realised something wasn't right. I knew something wasn't right, obviously, because it'd been all over the news, but I felt that it was like a lot more serious than it seemed. And then they'd just announced they were going to close down Italy, which seemed nuts. But anyway, so I carried on in Spain. Here was where I live. I've got my kids and everything, and but then checking the news all the time, just had the news on constantly, the Spanish news, seeing what was going on. And then I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, they announced all the schools were going to be closed. All the schools, universities, everything. So they'd already shut a couple of villages around Spain, and then they announced they were going to close the schools. And I was like, that's such a bad idea, because what do people do with their kids? You know, people have to go to work. It's like, anyway, and kids are the most resilient. They're the most resilient with this sort of virus. Why keep kids at home? They need to go and get the virus. I know, I'm not going to get into political, scientific. I've done so much research into this because I was sick of reading stuff on social media. So many inaccuracies, so be careful what you read out there, because there's so much nonsense being shared. But if you actually read about how viruses spread and how they sort of accelerate in their growth and how important it is for immunity and all that. Anyway, so I thought it was a really bad idea. Even my kids thought it was a bad idea, because they were like, "Oh, I'm going to be at home, can't go to school." It's actually a bit of a problem. Anyway, so that was like on the Wednesday or Thursday, and then you think, okay, this is getting really, really serious now. And then on the Friday, I was at work, I had the news on, the Spanish news on, and they said Prime Minister's going to come out, President of Spain? I think it's the Prime Minister of Spain. Anyway, he was going to come out, Pedro Sanchez, he was going to come out and give a speech, and everyone was really worried that he was going to announce that Spain was going into a state of alarm. They call it Sistema de Alarma, no? I think it's Sistema de Alarma. I think it's a state of alarm. So it's like quite a high status. It basically means that the government in Madrid can take over all of the autonomous communities of Spain. So normally each community in Spain, like where I am, I'm in Andalusia, and Andalusia has its own government, and they basically run themselves in a way. They've got their own budget, they've got their own rules, you know, their taxes. Every community has its own taxes and all this. Anyway, this state of alarm allows, state of alarm, that's it. Estado de alarma, not system, it's different. State of alarm allows Madrid to take control of the entire country, which is what they announced on Friday. And they give a lot of details, and then on the Saturday, more details came out. But on Friday, it was like, okay, this has got really serious now, because what happens when they do I think the last time they did it was in 2010, and they took over the airports or something. The army took over the airports, I think it was. I can't remember the reason behind it, but anyway, this is the second time they've ever used this in the history of the Constitution of Spain. So basically what it means is that we are restricted in what we can do. Now we know obviously that Italy already going through this process, so we could see on TV all the Italians singing from their terraces, you know, trying to like just be as happy and brave throughout the situation as possible, because it's very boring. And although I'm not going to be singing from my terrace, by the way, but yeah, they've embraced it in a way which is quite nice to see, but can't be easy. Anyway, we're going into a very, very similar situation to Italy. What does that mean to us? Well, it means that we have to stay at home. So you're not allowed out. The only reason you're allowed out, or the only reason you can go out, is if you have to go to work and you can't work from home. For example, if you have to go to work, you have to get the car and you go to work and you get back in your car and you go home. You can't go for a walk somewhere. You can't go and see any friends. You can't take your kids to the park. You can take your dog for a walk on your own. You can't go for a walk with your dog with another person. You can't take your partner with you and the dog. You have to go on your own with the dog. When you're walking the dog, you have to make sure you keep a wide berth for everyone else. So supermarket, everything is shut apart from supermarkets are staying open, pharmacies are staying open, all shops are closed, and petrol stations are obviously staying open as well, but they are only opening the little nighttime window, so you can't go into the petrol station. You can only pay at the little window, you know, where you normally go at night. So it feels really weird. It feels really weird. So although they announced this on Friday, gave more details about it on Saturday, and today is Sunday, and when they said on Saturday, they said it was going to start Monday morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. Today is Sunday, but it's dead already. And when I read online, it's as if like they're saying, well, it sort of like kicks in already. So like you shouldn't be traveling unless you have an absolute valid reason to be traveling. And you're probably wondering what I'm doing in my car then. It's just because when all this got announced, my girlfriend lives about a couple of hours away from where I live, and so I went to see her yesterday, and I'm heading home today. You're allowed to go home, so that's what I'm doing. And so because I don't know when I'm going to see her again, because this lockdown is for 2 weeks, well, they said 15 days, with a likelihood that it's going to be extended. It is likely to be extended because in 2 weeks the virus isn't going to miraculously disappear. All we're doing by closing people in is just delaying the inevitable, which is that most people in the country are going to get the virus one way or another. We have to. The virus isn't just going to disappear, so we have to get it. That's it. And we are just delaying what's happening, which is just catastrophic for every business, every employee, everybody. And there's going to billions have already been shed off within the stock markets, but the people who that really affects are all these just normal people who have to go to work, who pay their bills, who have to look after their kids, might have grandparents, parents that aren't well. It's just crazy. I just think that I read today the UK is looking to tell 70-year-olds plus to stay at home for 4 months. To stay at home for 4 months, which is probably the right thing to do, although you would go mad at home for 4 months, and elderly people are going to need a lot of support to get through it. Probably the right thing to do. Protect the elderly, protect the ones that are most vulnerable, but the rest of us, in theory, someone like me, I think I'm quite healthy, and my kids are quite healthy, we could get the virus and we should probably be okay, in theory. So, why stop it? We're just delaying inevitable. We're just going to make things so bad. I think Norwegian Air announced that they were going to have to lay off half of their entire staff. Half? It's like, that's thousands of jobs, isn't it? It's just crazy. It's just nuts. I mean, the impact of this is just unfathomable. And so we are just starting our lockdown period in Spain. We have had the situation with the supermarkets already. So supermarkets have been crazy. I went on Friday, which is the normal day we actually go shopping anyway. Normally I pick up my kids after school, we go, let's go and get some food for the weekend and the rest of the week. And there was such a queue to get into the first supermarket that we couldn't, with the car, we couldn't drive in to the car park. So we thought, we'll go to another one. That was Carrefour. We went to Lidl, and managed to park in Lidl, so went into the supermarket. Half the stuff was already gone. There was no toilet paper, no water or anything. It was like, why are people buying so much bog roll? I really don't understand. I mean, we normally just buy like, you know, just enough for like the week, maybe an extra couple of rolls just in case one of us gets diarrhea or something. But apart from that, I don't know what this obsession is of buying so much toilet paper. It's crazy. And here in Spain, we drink a lot of bottled water. Tap water, unfortunately, isn't always great in a lot of areas, and so we have to drink a lot of bottled water. And most bottled water was gone as well. So just crazy situation. But the funny thing was that we left Lidl without any toilet paper, without any water, and they said, let's go to Iceland, because there is a UK supermarket called Iceland here. It's called Overseas Supermarket. It's essentially Iceland. And says the kids, let's go to Iceland. I bet you there's toilet paper and water and food, you know, things like meat, because all the meats had gone and everything. Iceland. We went to Iceland, and sure enough, everything was there. And I think that's just a reflection of the fact that, in fact, there was a video that went around on social media, I think it was yesterday morning, and it was in Benidorm, and it was all the English in Benidorm, sat outside the restaurants, eating, drinking, having a wild time, while the rest of the country is in complete panic, stocking up on reserves and supplies of everything that they could possibly need for the next 6 months. And the English are completely oblivious to the situation. And I know it sounds wrong, but most English people don't read the Spanish news. They don't know what's going on. They have no idea. And in fact, I read an article this morning in an English newspaper in Spain called the Euro Weekly News, and they said, Brits confused about lockdown in Spain. It's like, what's the confusion? Everything is shut. That's it. If you have a restaurant, do not open it. You'll be fined. So they've announced, for example, that if you break the rules, confinement rules, you're going to be charged at least €100, and you could even be sent to jail. Now, it also means at the moment, because I'm waiting at any minute to be stopped by the police, because in theory, well, the way they're civil, which is the civil guard here, they should in theory be stopping me and asking me where I'm going. And I think what they've said is that, what if people start disobeying the orders, you know, from the central government? And in theory then, they can get the military to also get involved. So then we would see the military on the streets and everything. But interesting times ahead. This is going to be a very, very boring time. And the ironic thing, or the annoying thing, was that I was just about to kickstart my channel again and do some car videos. And because I've just been so busy, but this whole entire week just did not go to plan at all, because everything then became about, well, as a business in the UK, we're very concerned now, because we have access to the analytics and website data for over 100 businesses. So we get a really good feel about like the general state of the market and what's happening in different industries, what's getting impacted, what's not. And actually, you know, we're all going to get impacted, and my business is going to get impacted. And so we have to think about how to protect that, how to go forward with it. We have to think about our customers and our clients, how can we help them through these difficult times, because there's just so many companies are going to go out of business. That's just how it is, I think, and lots of people are going to lose their jobs. You know, I think it was a real insightful speech from Boris Johnson, I think it was on Thursday, that he said that it's inevitable more people are going to die. But of course it is. More people will die, because the deaths we're seeing are a month behind, where, you know, they get the virus, they die a month later. And more people will die whilst this virus keeps spreading, and it has to keep spreading. And more people are going to lose their lives, which is an awful thought. But I think that at the end of this, because, you know, every cloud has a silver lining. So trying to look at a positive here, the roads are nice and quiet. If you do need to go out, this is brilliant, great time to go out. But I also think that when you look at people's behaviours at the moment, with bulk buying toilet paper, with bulk buying food, with bulk buying so much, the selfish behaviour that people are exhibiting shows some of the worst of human beings. Just that we are ultimately very selfish people, and we just don't care about others. We care about ourselves so much. The majority of people, unfortunately, that's the way. And I think that going through this awful process, we can only hope that at the end of it, we all come out as better human beings. We help each other, we think about each other more, we act in better ways, we're more responsible, we don't take advantage of people. You know, I've heard about on social media people buying like baby milk and then selling it, or you know, all the baby milk in the supermarket and then selling it on Facebook at a profit, and it's just like, really? That's just crazy. Come on, people. Firstly, don't panic. Supermarkets are going to be open, we're going to be okay. Don't start doing stupid things. Look after your neighbours, check for the elderly and stuff like that. And I do think that out of this, lots of you are going to lose their lives, which is really sad. But I hope that the rest of us that remain on this planet start being more respectful, appreciative, and better human beings. We have to be, because I think if this has taught us anything, is that we're not immortal, and at any moment we could be caught out. Anyway, so that sounded like a bit of a depressing end to a video, but I hope not. It was more of a positive end. It was supposed to be. I'm enjoying these quiet roads. I'm not happy about the fact that I'm not going to see my girlfriend for a few weeks, which is a real problem. Kids are going to be at home every day. They're going to drive me insane. But anyway, the cats will be happy because the cats will be getting extra treats, so they benefit. Anyway, so that's just my update about life in Spain at the moment. I can tell you more as it happens during the week if you want. I can give you a bit of an update as to how things are going, and if not, then I won't. And I'll do a car video when I can update you with a car video. In the meantime, wherever you are, stay safe and look after yourself and look after those around you. And hopefully, I'll see you very soon. Bye.